settlers versus travelers. It sounds like a football match or something like a competition, but it's not a competition. We just want to side by side put these two categories of people together, because you are going to be either a settler or a traveler, unavoidably so. You are going to fall. Each of us will fall in one of those categories. All right, you can't be the two at the same time. You are going to have to fall in one of those categories. Okay, so before we dive into what it means to be a settler and what it means to be a traveler, there's a big question that I think you should ask. And the question is, why are you here? Why are you on this call? Why are you in the space you are right now in life when it has to do with relationship? Are you preparing to become the right partner, or you're just trying to have a partner? Are you preparing, or you just want to have? Are you becoming, or you just want to have a partner? Do you want to just have a relationship, or you want to become ready for a relationship? Because trust me, it's better to be ready and not have it yet than have it when you are not ready. Okay? It's better to be prepared for it. And there's something I say commonly. You cannot over prepare. You cannot be too ready. You cannot be over ready, but you can be under ready. You can't over prepare, but you can under prepare. So, as we get into it, let that question ring in your heart. Are you preparing to become a right partner, or are you just wanting to have a partner? Every traveler has a destination. Every traveler has a destination. And every settler has found a home. Every traveler has a destination. Every settler has found a home. And that's very powerful. Because what it means to have found a home is, I have now arrived. I am now where I can relax and chillax and just be, and not be bothered by anything, and just be taken care of. Just relax, and not be bothered by anything. But life in itself is a continual journey. The moment you stop journeying is as well as being dead. The moment you stop journeying is as good as being dead. But you are not that kind of person that wants to settle. You are that kind of person that wants to keep journeying till you arrive, till you apprehend, as it were, okay, to speak Apostle Paul's language, till you apprehend. But there is a journey. It's a journey you are on. And you can't afford to settle, especially when you know, because when it comes to relationship, you know that this is not the best it can be. Especially when you're single, there's a mark you want to hit. You just don't want to marry. You want to marry correctly. You want to marry right. So it's a journey that continues. Okay? It's a journey that continues. Every traveler has a destination. That's every traveler keeps going because they have a destination. But every settler has found a home. So let's look at it. What does it mean to be a settler in the framework of, relationships? What does it mean to be a settler? A settler is the person who is relationship driven. Their relationship is driven by urgency. Because they just want to have it and say, now I have it. Bam, we have arrived. Urgency. They think time is going, I need to quickly get to where I'm going to. I need to quickly get to where I want to get to, which is to marry. All my mates are married. All my mates have done this. So I need to do it. They are driven by urgency. Okay. A settler makes fear-based decisions. I'll still break it down. Let me just highlight those things. A settler makes fear-based decisions because the settler is naturally afraid of the journey. So they will, out of the fear of the journey, want to quickly just make decisions that gives them a sense of arrival, a sense of permanence, a sense of security, as it were. So they make decisions that are fear-driven, fear-based. A settler is seeking validation because validation gives them a sense of settlement, that I get into a relationship. When I have this relationship is going to confirm that I am valuable. It's going to confirm that I am worth something. That I have somebody now that doesn't mind spending the rest of their life with me. Is a confirmation. So you see, they are looking for validation. A settler is looking for validation. A settler is looking for the outcome. They don't care about the process. It's just focused on the outcome. What's the outcome? I'm wedded. I'm married. I have a ring. You know, I can say that's my babe. That's my guy. That's my husband. That's my wife. It's just the outcome they are concerned about. From point A to point B, they don't care what's in between. It's just that end game they are looking for. All right, that's a settler for you. Who is a traveler? A traveler is growth oriented. A traveler is somebody who feels that no matter how good it is, it can be better. No matter where we are, we can go further. A traveler is growth oriented. A traveler believes that what they have seen to be good is not the best that can be. So they keep continually pressing for the best. Okay. A traveler is identity aware. They have a good grip on their identity. I won't flog that too much because we'll still talk about identity down the line. A traveler is intentional because a traveler knows that every step they take takes them closer or farther away from the destination. Don't forget, we said that every traveler has a destination. So they are intentional about their direction. They're intentional about their pace, their speed, their association on the journey. You see that? A traveler is also process focused. You know, we said that the settler is just outcome focused. A traveler is process focused because they know that the quality of the process will determine the quality of the outcome, as it were. The quality of the process determines the quality of the product, as it were. All right. So a traveler is process focused. And you know, we said settlers versus travelers, then we said beComing versus I know you will read it as beHaving, but for the sake of our discourse, let's call it beHaving. All right. So we are just opposing beComing versus beHaving, just one thing to have. All right. By the time we have subsequent editions, we'll talk about beHaving, and that's another thing entirely on its own. But for the sake of our discourse this evening, let's sound that word as beHaving. Okay. So let's look at the beHaving and the beComing mindset side by side. The beHaving mindset is the mindset that is focused on the external. It's asking the question, what can I get from this? If I have a man or if I have a babe, what can I get from the relationship? Oh, this guy really asked me out. What can I get from dating this guy or being in a relationship with this guy? What can I get? So, which is why it will inform how you vet the person. Does he have a car? Does he have a job? Does he have a house? Then the guys will be like, is she tall? Is she fair? Is she plump? Is she slim? It's all about what you want to get out of it. That's a beHaving mindset. Who will choose me? It's all about the external. Who will choose me? Who is the person they are looking? They are always looking. Who will choose me? Will this person choose me? Oh, this guy is tall and handsome and all of this. Will he choose me? Oh, this babe is classy and curvy and all of that. Will she choose me? Always external. That's the beHaving mindset. It's all about me, what I can get, me, what I can get, what I can get. But the beComing mindset is internal development focused. Is internal. Is development. Who am I becoming? That's the question a beComing mindset will ask. Who am I becoming? In the process of wanting to get into a relationship, in the process of wanting to become a wife or to become a husband, who am I becoming? Okay, what is getting better about me? What am I shedding and what am I taking on? What new layers am I adding to myself? What old layers am I dropping off? Who am I becoming? Okay, what capacity am I building? Because you see this matter of capacity. Jehovah, ask married men or ask married women, they will tell you that it takes a degree of capacity to run a home and to run your life and run a home and run children and run career and run other communities that you belong to, maybe a church or extended family, in-laws. It takes capacity. So what capacity am I building? All right, that's the question that the becoming mindset is, yeah, Kappa. That's the question that the becoming mindset is asking. Okay, so there's a trick around this thing, and some people on this call, um, the beautiful people of Out of Zion, the Singles Fellowship. I've had 2 sessions with them in the past 3 weeks or 4 weeks thereabout, and I'm going to give you one of the things that I taught them, and it's an arc, and I love it so much because I think it solves the problem of who to a very large extent. Okay, and it's a question I will tell them. So I'm going to tell you now what I told them to do a while ago. So I'm telling you now what you will do is right now. I don't know right where you are. I don't know if you have already a list of the qualities that you want to see in the partner that you are open for. If you don't have a list of the qualities that you want to see in the partner that you are open for, then I will ask you to quickly make a list. Oh, hardworking, God-fearing, all those beautiful things that you look out for in a man or in a woman that will be your life partner. Quickly list some, as many. And if you want to delay the exercise till after this session, you can. Because I want you to do it. I want you to have an exhaustive list as long as possible. As many qualities that you desire in that partner, that prospective husband or wife, that dream man, that dream woman. Have an exhaustive list, all right? And then the real exercise is you will now look at each of those qualities and check if you that wrote the list possess those qualities. You see that? You look at all of those qualities and check if you that wrote the list possess those qualities. If you do not possess even one of those qualities, you have work to do. Because deep is supposed to call onto the deep, like is supposed to be there. Like, I mean, if why are you expecting to sow a seed? I mean, to reap an harvest of a seed you do not have to sow, or you are not willing to sow. So you can't say, somebody can say, I want a rich man. Are you rich? What is your definition of rich? Okay. What is your definition of God fearing? What is your definition of hard work? Are you that? You can't have an expectation of the other person that you don't have. Now, cheating. You want to cheat the guy. I mean, you want to cheat the babe. You too should have that thing to bring on board. All right. This is not cast in stone, but it is wise. It is wise so that it can help you determine the direction of your desire. It can give direction. It can give validation and legitimacy to your desire. You don't want to demand something of another person that you do not have to offer. Okay, so do that thing and you will see it will be so revealing. It will already begin to tell you what you have to work on. All right. For example, you say, I want an honest person. The question is, are you an honest person yourself? Then how dare you demand honesty? I want to have honesty. I want to secure honesty when you cannot give honesty. I don't want a man that can cheat on me. I don't want a woman that, if you don't have it to give, you have no right to demand it on the other person. All right. What you should be thinking about is how you have it, or maybe that person has it in a higher degree, to a higher degree than you do. All right. So yeah, let's move on. So if you are able to do that exercise, it will go a long way in helping you. Okay. So what we are talking about generally, if we are to summarize all of this, is that identity is superior to intimacy. Having a solid identity, having a grip of your identity. And it's not hard. So don't think too far. And please, I'm one of the people that will not give you bullshit. I don't like to say plenty jargons that will not be useful. And there are so many jargons that can be said, honestly. So many beautiful, high-falutin English language that can be spoken. But that's not why we're here. Okay? I want to put in your hands real tools. And one of the tools that I put in your hands, if you are very discerning, is this list I asked you to make. If you don't do it, and I beg you, in fact, anything we learn here today, and you are not going to put it to practice, I think you should just get out of this Zoom room because it's entirely useless. It's not enough to hear and hear and hear and hear and hear and not do. Because if you don't do it, you will not see any results. And somewhere down the line in your life, in your future, you will be reminded that you learned this thing. You just didn't do it. So please, no matter how silly what the recommendation is, please do your best to do it, because it's in the doing that you actually know what you're doing. It's not in the thinking that you know what you're doing. All right. So please, if you're not going to do, just leave the class. It's useless. Go and be eating dodo and be frying more money. It's very simple. Okay. But identity is superior to intimacy. Identity. What do you? So that's why people get married and they become a shadow of themselves. Because even before they got married, they didn't have a grip on their identity. They didn't know who they are. So it's easy for the other person to manipulate them if that person is such person, to convert them to something else. All right. So you want to have a good grip on your identity before you become intimate with anybody. You want clarity before commitment. And that's why we are here. Okay. So I want to speak to things that are reasons why people become settlers, or people are settlers over being travelers. Number one is the danger of loneliness. Loneliness driven decisions. Loneliness can be very powerful. That's the truth. It can be powerful. And it's powerful enough to push people into relationships that feel relieving at the moment, but in the long run, it is harmful. If you are lonely, you can make friends with a spider. If you are very lonely, you can see a spider on your wall and be admiring it. You can even start to talk to it. Loneliness can drive you to points where anybody that strings along can now become your friend. Or you just say, oh, you don't even have anyone before. This one will come. Let's manage. Loneliness can drive you to such places. When someone is primarily trying to escape loneliness, they may ignore red flags. They will likely ignore red flags. That's why you can't be a settler. Okay? They will likely accept less compatibility or respect. This person is outrightly disrespecting you. But because you are lonely, your decision is being driven by loneliness, you will settle with that person. Someone that is not deserving of you, that can then have your attention. Loneliness can make you move too quickly make you move too quickly emotionally and even physically, because it's like, this one where I see, I will not let it go. All right. It can confuse, it can make you confuse attention with genuine love. That somebody is giving you attention doesn't mean the person loves you, because people can give attention for several reasons. Attention is a powerful commodity, all right, that people can use to exchange, to buy, to purchase. Okay, because more that's why it's even in expression we say you are paying attention, because attention is like currency. You can pay attention to get something. So you will confuse attention for genuine love if you are making loneliness driven decisions. Okay, loneliness often makes any companionship feel better than none. It's just like, oh, this one is good, you know. But you know, when it comes to matters of healthy relationship, marriage, and whatnot, it has to be based on shared values, on emotional stability, on commitment. It can't just be because I don't want to be lonely. Okay, let's move forward. The second thing that is a clear trait of that we should be considering in being not being a settler but being a traveler is emotional readiness versus relationship desire. Desire is not always a reflection of readiness. Desire is not always a reflection of readiness. That I'm not ready for a relationship, I'm not ready for a relationship. When you now feel ready, it's a feeling of readiness because you now have the desire. When you do not have the desire, you say you are not ready. When you now think you are ready, the desire will now rise. But it doesn't mean you are ready. You get that? So emotional readiness is not always a reflection. I'm sorry, desire is not always a reflection of emotional readiness. Many people desire a relationship, but desire only does not mean that you're emotionally ready for a relationship. Relationship desire means that you want love, you want companionship, or you want marriage. You want to enjoy romantic connection. You want to be feeling special. You want somebody that will call you late and check on you 10 times a day. You feel ready to meet somebody. Okay. But emotional readiness, on the other hand, is your ability to communicate honestly. And people have issues. Communication is a class on its own. You see that is a class on its own. Can you communicate properly? Communicate honestly, at least honestly. Can you handle conflict without manipulation or without withdrawal? Those are the signs that show you that you're actually ready. Can you manage conflict? Can you handle conflict without manipulation, without withdrawing from the person? All right. Can you take responsibility for your emotions instead of expecting another person to fix it? You want the other person to fix you to fix it. Can't you say I'm sad? Can't you even lighten up my mood? Bro, can you take responsibility for your own emotions? That you determine how you feel. You determine your response to matters. Okay. Have you healed enough from past wounds so much that you are not projecting it on the new person or on the people around you? Those are some of the ways to know that you're emotionally ready for this thing. All right. Someone can strongly want marriage, but still carry unresolved issues. So people I call it unresolved issues, but the real name is trauma. People go into marriage with trauma, and then the trauma begins to mess up their marriage, not because they are bad people. And this is not shadow casting, this is not blame casting, this is not shading anybody. Not because they are bad people, not because their partner is bad, but they have unresolved issues, and that's what it is. They have trauma, and that's what it is. And trauma will always find its way out. All right. So you want to deal with those things before you, because I mean, and trauma, can be expressed in several ways. Fear of abandonment, there is trust issues there is emotional dependency, there is inability to set boundaries. There's just a whole lot that can come out from being emotionally unready. There's a word like that, already. Emotionally not ready. Okay. The third thing is that there are patterns that some singles repeat unconsciously. Repeat patterns unconsciously. Many singles unknowingly repeat the same relationship patterns. Because those patterns are rooted in their beliefs, in their upbringing, in their conviction, in their unresolved experiences. In psychology, we say that we are products of SEE. S is significant emotional experiences. Those are experiences that left deep imprints on your soul growing up. E, experiences. Sorry, significant emotional experiences. Environment. The environment you grew in, the immediate environment, the wider environment. The third one is education, the kind of knowledge that you have absorbed. And it's not just about classroom education. We are talking about formal and informal education, the exposures you have had, things that you have accepted as true or as normal. Those are the things that play out eventually when you get to a place where you want to make these really vital decisions. Okay, so many singles unknowing, like I said, due to upbringing, due to unresolved experiences and their beliefs, repeat patterns. Some of the patterns that singles repeat that might be unhealthy is choosing emotionally unavailable partners. As I'm saying this, you can be scanning yourself. Maybe you have been into two or three relationships, and you're just checking them. Oh, buddy, that guy was emotionally unavailable. Sunji, unavailable. Steven, emotionally unavailable. See that by pattern, you can see that there are consistent traits of some people that you have attracted before or that you have had to deal with before. Sometimes it's trying to fix or rescue partners. You are trying to I can fix this person, or this person will fix me, or I can rescue this person, or this person will rescue me. Kind of pattern. Sometimes you attract controlling or dependent personalities. Some are controlling, they don't control your life. Where are you now? Every 10 minutes, where are you now? Put on your camera, bro. And you see that thing can be consistent with the kind of people that you attract, or people that are extremely dependent. Any reason they have called you. And this thing it goes both ways. I've seen guys that are extremely emotionally dependent on the babe, and they are calling every little thing. They want a babe that will be petting them, rubbing their head, and by pattern. Okay, so some avoid commitment due to fear of vulnerability. Some people don't want to be vulnerable, and those are the kind of people that are attracting. And some, they are overgiving in order to feel valued. They overdo. Even you that they are doing it for, that you don't do too much, or you are the one that is doing too much, and then you get attracted to a particular type of people. You see, these patterns often come from early childhood, early family dynamics, and this is very, very, very deep. In psychology, they call it attachment styles. You might want to check it out. How you were loved as a child, how you were given love, and how you receive love goes a long way in determining how you perceive, receive love when you grow, when you become an adult. It's a, honestly, and I'm not even capping, it's a class on its own that you can take a whole 2 months dealing with. I'm telling you, how you grew up, your early childhood, early family dynamics go a long way in determining how you deal with patterns and all of these things. Then past heartbreaks, low self-worth. Self-worth and self-esteem. I hope I will not be sounding too. Self-worth and self-esteem is another class on its own. It's a separate class that you deal with. All right. Familiarity with certain relationship behavior. Some people are so familiar with toxic people and they keep attracting toxic people because they know that one. You know the way they say that a known devil, a devil you know, is better than an angel you don't know. They are used to such people, so they keep attracting such people because they feel that they can handle such people. All right, but these things are not exactly healthy. Without awareness, people can change partners, but repeatedly the same relationship story. You see that you can change partners, change person to person, but you are still the same story over and over again. That's why you see many singles jump to conclusion. They say that there's no wife again. They are just girls out there. All the guys, is their money they want. It's because they have attracted a particular set of people that have shown them that side, and then they make those conclusions. Or that you hear some ladies say that all these guys, they are not serious, they are not consistent. It's sex they want because they have by pattern repeatedly in different human beings attracted a particular pattern. All right. The fourth thing I will say here before we move on is that self-awareness is the foundation of healthy relationships. You cannot escape self-awareness. You cannot escape self-awareness. You cannot escape self-awareness. You have to be self-aware. You cannot escape self-awareness. There is no escaping self-awareness. And I will break it down. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of stable and lasting relationships. And self-awareness is basically just knowing your values first. What are your values? What do you stand for now? What and values is also another class on its own to help people land. What are your values? So do you have a list of what your values are? I bet half of the people on this call, it's not your fault too. I'm not even blaming you because we're not taught these things. You know, they not teach us in university. They not teach us in secondary school. They not tell us that values is important. They're just telling us find X or Gibra and all these things. So it's not your fault that you don't know that you're supposed to know your values, but you should know your values. You should have core values. So you have it written out. What are your emotional triggers? What are the things that trigger you emotionally? What are the things that work you up? What are the things that excite you? What are the things that stress you? You want to identify those things. All right. What is your communication style? How do you like to communicate? Are you a solid verbal communicator, or you'd rather not communicate verbally and communicate non-verbally? Do you prefer to write? Do you prefer to talk? What's your tone? You want to check all of that. What are your strengths and your weaknesses, as it were? What are your needs in a partnership? You know, those are the things that help to be self-aware. A self-aware person chooses partners aligned with their values. You see that if you know all of these things, you now know how to choose whoever comes around. Already you have a sieving system. All right. You are going to choose someone that aligns with your values. You're going to choose someone that communicates clearly to you, communicates their needs clearly. People who set healthy boundaries, who respect you and respect your boundaries, who take responsibility for their behavior. All right. And that makes it easy for you to even grow personally, to grow as an individual. Okay. So let's move forward a bit because wow, our time has run so fast, but because I like to hear questions. I like to respond to questions that might be on your heart. But the key thing here is that who you are becoming determines what you constantly or consistently attract and tolerate. Who you are becoming determines what you attract. See, even if when you are framed to be a certain type of person that has a good handle on their values, on their emotional triggers, you have your communication style known, you have a good grip of your identity, right? Even if by chance you attract a funny fellow, the funny fellow cannot stay. There are some people that will come around you and they just know that on our way, not just rhyme by themselves, they will carry their legs and waka. The reason why a person that is unfitting for you will hang around you is because that person is not sure where you are, or the person does not see anything solid. They see how flexible, how you can dilly-dally, you can bend here today and bend here tomorrow. You are not solid. So they hang around, hoping that they get a chance. But if by any means you attract somebody that is not fitting to you after you have a solid, by themselves, they will work out. All right. So who you are becoming will determine largely the kind of people you attract and the kind of people and the kind of things you tolerate. Okay. Let's move forward. So I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. You can, if you like, you can respond to these questions in the chat box. If you like, you can just take them down and reflect on them in your private space. 1, in what ways have I been settling? Ask yourself, in what ways have I been a settler? Have I been settling? Going by all of the definitions that I've given, in what ways have you been settling? Is it in your... Okay, let me give another perspective to settling. Even married people can settle. Maybe this will be of value to married people that are on this call. You can marry and settle, and it's still not good for you. You can marry and say that, like I said earlier, I don't marry. You see how, like, jokingly, they make jokes out of how women begin to dress anyhow when after they have gotten married. Before they got married, they used to dress in a way that would be attractive to, that will be charming or will be beautiful, good looking for their partner. But after they get married, they just throw caution, to the wind, and they just tie wrapper all day and not shave their armpits. And the guys who can just become careless and not, I don't marry her. Then you don't pamper her. You don't do anything extra. You don't, because that's settling. You are settled. And that kind of marriage will have issues. I promise you. It's a matter of time. They will have serious issues. So you want to ask yourself, in what ways have I been settling as a single person? Have I gotten to a point where I told myself, well, I'm fine? Some people can even settle based on their age and say, I'm already 35. I don't think this marriage thing is for me. I don't think it's coming again. Then you settle. But that thing is a lie, bro. It's a lie. As long as you're a traveler, you will catch up with a co-traveler, or your path will intersect with a co-traveler. As long as you are a moving entity, you are not a monument. You have not found home. You have not found the end. You have not told yourself that, oh, I don't reach, I'm already 40. Marriage is over. It's not possible again. That thing is a lie, bro. All right. So, number 2, what patterns do I keep repeating? Oh God, this question holds plenty wisdom for you. If you are able to identify pattern, then you can break it. Until you identify pattern, your chances of breaking it are so low or almost non-existent. But if you find a pattern, what are the patterns that I've been repeating in my life as a single person? Number 3, am I a relationship ready person or a relationship hungry person? Are you relationship? You talk about people that they can't go 2 months without being in a relationship. Oh, toxic, just get me into a relationship. I don't care. If God now want to catch them, they are now attractive externally, physically. Or if God want to, not God, whatever is catching them, they now have money to flout. So they have the wherewithal, as it were, to attract at any given time. Are you a relationship hungry person or relationship ready person? Okay. Ask those 3 questions. Let me run over it again. In what ways have I been settling? What patterns do I keep repeating? Am I a relationship ready person or a relationship hungry person? Okay. You want to ask yourself those questions. They are very, very pivotal. 3 things that can help you shift from being a settler to a traveler. Number 1 is that you move from urgency to intentionality. Rather than, because urgency actually doesn't speed up the process. If you run on urgency, you can run into barbed wire. But you can intentionally just slow down your pace and say, you know what, this relationship thing, make it even first wait first. Let's consider the factors that surround. Let's question why am I not in a healthy relationship yet? Let's ask those questions before we are looking out for the next possibility, for the next possible relationship. So you slow down from urgency to intentionality. Clarify your values, clarify your reasons. Some people don't even have healthy reasons for wanting to be in a relationship or healthy motives for wanting to get married. The craziest I've heard why somebody said he was going to get married, the craziest I've heard. People have several reasons. So people have several funny reasons for wanting to get married. The craziest I've heard is the one that said, I want to get married because I want to post wedding pictures on Instagram. I don't think anything can be more ridiculous than that. That's why you want to marry, so that you can post your wedding pictures on Instagram. Human being, I'm not talking about cartoon. So slow down from urgency to intentionality. Match break. This relationship, calm down. All right. Number 2, you want to move from validation seeking to value building. This one, you just want to be appreciated. You want to be seen. You want to be loved. You want to be pampered. You want to be special. You want to slow down. Let's think about building value into you. We said for travelers, it's internal. It is capacity building. All right. Slow down. Develop a solid identity. Develop a solid grip on purpose, on emotional health. These things are possible. They are not rocket science. They just sound big. They are doable. You can lay hold of them. All right. So for seeking validation, to say, I want to lower, I want to lower that. They just want to make money because validation. They think that having money now will now qualify them. Well, having money does not qualify. You might not have money, but you have plenty sense, and sense generates money more than money can generate sense. If you have enough sense, you will generate money. But you can have a lot of money and be senseless. And it's obvious. Look at our society. All right. So it is not valid. Some people now, they have snap picture. They just keep snapping picture and putting on Instagram because you just want likes and follows and likes and you share and baby girl, go girl, you look so beautiful. There's no angle of your life that you have not snapped and put on Instagram because you want to be liked. But validation does not build a solid relationship, talk less of a solid home. So move from seeking validation to building value, to becoming a solid person. Move from being a liability to being an asset. When we say anybody will come across you, go, I can't let it be the highest bidder. Make them they rush you because you carry value. All right, you see that as a man, as a woman, and you carry so much value that they want to marry you. They rush you because you have moved from seeking validation. It's not about who sees you, who doesn't see you, how expensive is your clothes, how high is your shoe, how expensive is your car, so all of that. Any idiot can have a car. Anybody can have cars. Anybody can have all these external things. And it doesn't build anything solid. All right. Third thing, move from fantasy to personal development. From daydreaming, from wishing. Couple goals. All those things. Destination wedding. All those fantasy, beautiful things. They are nice. And I don't even have anything against them. But move from there, from that fantasy, because you can be there for long. Oh God, you can be in fantasy land for as long. Move to personal development. Personal development means becoming a better version of yourself daily, weekly, monthly. That there's something your friends used to complain about last year. That thing is gone this year. Maybe they used to complain that you are lazy. This year, you have shed that thing. You have developed. Or they used to complain that you are not neat, or that your dress sense is not, or that you don't have enough. Your character is still questionable. That you have moved from there to here. That's personal development. Every year, every month, every week, you are layering on your good self, in quotes, good self. Because I can't tell you that you're bad. You will not even agree. Everybody thinks they are good people. So, on that, you're good now. still build layers of better and then best. All right. You see that is an endless journey of self-development. Okay. In wrapping up, let me give you an exercise. I want you to take a 30 days growth action, growth challenge. This 30 days thing I want to tell you is information. And I will break it to information that you want to change how you are formed on the inside. You want to alter some things and reform on the inside. And how you can achieve information is via information, which is largely knowledge. Knowledge. The better you know, the better you do. It gets as you go know. The knowledge you have on the inside will begin to determine your pathway. It will begin to determine the way you navigate, the way you move. The knowledge within will begin to move you. Just because you know something and you have rapport with that information so much, you just see that naturally you can't behave in certain ways. You see that you have this value of honesty, and you have mentally, emotionally, you have so rapport with honesty, and lies become irritating to you. You have lost the capacity to lie. That is what information can do to you. Information informates you. It informs you inside. All right. 30 days challenge. Commit to number one, one emotional growth goal. Emotional growth. That this particular thing used to work me up. Maybe if anybody calls me, for example, just a wide example, if anybody calls me idiot, I'll be angry. You want to tell yourself that in the next 1 month, I want to deal with that trigger. That no matter how much anybody calls me an idiot, I want to get to a point where it doesn't work me up. It doesn't, bro. You will see that will change how you even see yourself. How will you get to a point where they call you idiot? Idiot that used to make you run mad before. Now they are calling you that and you are not running mad. Something must have happened inside of you. Maybe, just maybe, you have reassessed yourself. You have looked at yourself and you have seen so much that you are not an idiot. So there's no how anybody calls you that and it's going to trigger you. It's like if your name is Faith and somebody is calling you Joy. You will not answer to that name because you want to commit to one emotional growth goal. Number two, one personal discipline. I wake up by 5:30 every day. I do not eat after 7 p.m. ever. Because some people, especially ladies that like to have flat tummy, all they need is one discipline. That they will not be eating after 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. And then you will achieve your flat tummy. I'm just saying. But what is that one discipline? That, I will one discipline for the next 1 month. Don't do two, just do one. All right, do one. Number three, one relational boundary adjustment. You want to make an adjustment in how you relate with people. Okay, I'm not going to be talking to people after 10 p.m. on calls. Okay, I just want to learn to respect people. Okay, just commit to one, and that will be fine. All right, I would like to stop here because I want to take questions. Okay, I hope so far it's been value for you. If it's been value for you, please drop something in the chat. Let me know. And if you have a question, this is a good time also to drop your question. I love to respond to questions. Please, I love to respond to questions because I know you have specific questions that might be on your heart. But if it's been value for you, please just drop it in the chat box. And let me know that it's been value for you. What's one thing that has stood out for you in all of this conversation so far? All right, I'm waiting for your comments. Waiting for your comments. I want to know that this has been value for you. I want to know if this has been valuable to you. Identifying patterns that have been valuable for you. Fantastic. The more you are able to identify patterns, like I said, if you're able to identify patterns, then you will be able to deal with them. You'll be able to halt them. If it's a good pattern, not all patterns are bad. All right. If you have been seeing good pattern repeated, then you can reinforce it. Maybe there's something else you have to do you to make it permanent, to get to a point where it's now a permanent experience for you. Patterns are very, very, very powerful. But of course, you know that this conversation of relationship and self-development and all of this, they are not something you can exhaust in a 60 minutes Zoom meeting. It's very wide, which is why we beg people, I appeal to people to please commit to self-development. There's a whole lot and there's no end to it. Even people that are married, they are still growing. Imagine that we have married people on this call. Why are they here? They are still growing. They are still layering upon layer, layering upon layer. All right. Somebody said, who I am becoming determines who I am going to attract. Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, sometimes you can measure where you are in life, who you are, by the kind of people you are attracting. If Yahoo boys are always toasting you, every time the people that are coming to be toasting you are Yahoo boys. Mama, low key, check, or maybe you're a Yahoo girl. Not that might not be Chache Yahoo, but there's a type of Yahoo that you are involved in. You yourself are not a straightforward person. Sometimes the kind of things you attract can reflect to you. It can mirror back to you who you are or who you are giving off to be in life. All right. Identifying between emotional readiness and desires, absolutely powerful. Absolutely. Emotional readiness and desire. Anybody can have desire. Don't you desire to be Elon Musk? Bastard money. It's a desire. But it doesn't mean that you are ready for bastard money. You are not. Some people bar money alone. Ori blow. They don't even have bass, just small money. Because they have not developed internal capacity to manage that desire. So desire alone is not enough. Anybody can have any desire. There's an axiom that says if wishes were horses, even beggars, they will order Uber. So desires are not enough. You have to be emotionally ready because it's capacity to carry. Being in a relationship means when you get in a relationship, what it means is that you are no longer thinking just for yourself. You are thinking for another person that also has a brain. You are involving them in how your life evolves, in how your life plays out. It takes some measure of capacity to do that. Not to now talk of when you now actually get married to them. And God, in God's wisdom, you are now in Africa, where when you marry somebody, you are marrying their friends, you are marrying their family, you are marrying their mother, their father, their siblings. You see that? So it is a measure of capacity that is required for you to do it healthily beyond just having a desire. Anybody can desire. Even JSS students now, they are desiring boyfriend and girlfriend. So how will you be different from a secondary school boy or girl? All right. So can I get one more comment so I can respond? Let me get one more comment so I can respond. And if you have a question, nobody has asked any question. I hope you're not going to come and ask me in my DM. Ask now. If you ask any question from me directly after now, we'll just turn it into the next class. Okay. Understanding the difference between being hungry and ready for a relationship. Being relationship hungry or being relationship ready. There's a difference. And that's also a very solid one. Okay. You don't want to be hungry for a relationship. You want to be on the same energy with which you are hungry for a relationship. Go and use that energy to be getting ready. Because you know what they say about when opportunity meets preparation. You don't want preparation to come. God, you don't want a good man or a good woman to come by, and because of one thing that you should have dealt with, one small thing that you should have dealt with, and then you lose that person. It can be very painful. All right. So please, you want to also watch that. Okay. So I've not gotten any questions, and I think we'll be wrapping this up. I hope it's been value for your time. I don't hope, I believe it's been value for your time. I want you to know that we will have subsequent editions of this because my heart really beats for single people. And I will tell you the reason in a few minutes, then I will wrap it up. I've seen toxic marriages, I've seen LD marriages, and I've seen the difference. I've learned a lot that a toxic relationship or a toxic marriage is unnecessary, it's avoidable, it's useless. You do not have to be in a relationship that doesn't make sense. You do not have to be in a relationship that stresses you. You do not have to be in a marriage that stresses you, that will not let you fulfill, live fully. All right, it's unnecessary. So my heart really beats for singles because I need you to get it right. That's on one side. That's even talking about the next generation rests on your shoulder in getting it right in marriage. You don't want to produce more problem in the society. You don't want to produce more armed robbers or more problems, which largely come from a wrong choice of marriage or a wrong choice in relationship. You want to live a complicated life. You don't want to repeat negative history. So my heart really beats for single people. I really want you to get it right. And that's why we are doing this. And that's why we keep doing this. Okay. So please, as we close, thank you so much, Boli. Thank you so much, Faith. Thank you everyone that have dropped a comment. Thank you so much. I see your comments. It's really good to know that this is have been very great value to you. I want you to know that you do not build a healthy relationship by accident. You build it by design. You build it by intention. You don't just look for love. You prepare for it. Prepare for it. Like I said earlier, you can't over prepare, or you can under prepare. And the cost of under preparing or under preparation is too much. Is way too much than the cost of over preparing. That's if it has any cost at all. Please. All right. So in another few weeks, maybe 1 or 2, we have a subsequent edition of this. We will take the conversation further, deeper, and more practical. There's a question someone asked me a while ago, about 2 weeks ago. She had said that, why is it that despite being a good person, people still don't ask you out, or people still cannot see that you are a wife material? And it goes for men too. I love that question so much. And on any of our subsequent editions, I would like to answer that question. It's not a mystery, but it can be learned. All right. Thank you so much for attending this. God bless you.